You know, this does look similar enough to the original Normandy, but SR2 is just so much better. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Mass Effect 2. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we found out what happened on Freedom's Progress, and we got our brand new ship, the Normandy SR2. This time we're going to be investigating through the entire ship. We're going to start off with the captain's cabin. Within the captain's cabin, there are a few things that we can do. First of all, we can check out our trophies. This is just showing your achievements. I'm not going to look at that because those will have spoilers. We also see that we do have a model of the original Normandy. Model ships can show up here. We can get those later on. There is access to your private terminal. There is also one on the second floor. We will view those in just a moment. There's a little bit of music you can play. There's a armor locker for you to change things up here. And fish, should we get them, can be picked up here. We will get some fish later on.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the commanding officer's quarters.
It's larger than the quarters of other warships I've served on.
This is a Cerberus vessel, not an Alliance warship. Accommodations have been made for personal taste. That said, this space is directly under the exterior pressure hull. The fitting yard workers called it the lock.
And Edie does have some nice notes to have regarding the areas as well. There is also a little restroom here. It's, it's just for some nice little details. But still, it's nice to have that fitted out. As for the private terminals, again, there is one on the second floor. First, we can check on the status of the team. With some DLC stuff, Miranda has another outfit. There are a few other people who have multiple outfits. Jacob does not have one to start. Check out our upgrades. We can't actually see any of these. These will be unlocked once we get the scientist. Archived message, there are none here, but we still have our unread messages. A few things here. First, a message from Anderson. On the off chance that the rumors are true and you actually are alive, I need you to come and talk to me on the Citadel. A lot has changed in the last 2 years. You put us on the council. It's only fair that you be allowed to speak for yourself about what we've been hearing. Message from Admiral Anderson. We will pop in there soon enough. From the Elusive Man, Shepard, we've reached an agreement with the veteran mercenary Zaid Masani. You may know the name. Zaid has been involved in some of the best known and some utterly unknown military operations in the Terminus systems, and is feared as a ruthless and relentless bounty hunter. I felt you might need a man with his skills on your mission, so I've arranged to have him join you. You'll find him on Omega, where he's wrapping up his current bounty. Don't worry about his fate. I've taken care of that personally. Zaid Masani, the mercenary member of the crew. This is a person in DLC. However, he's actually a free LC character in the original trilogy. Of course, if you have Legendary Edition, you will have all the DLC. No worries there. Zaid, one of 2 DLC characters. The other one we can sort of see at the very bottom there. Zaid, the way that the DLC characters work is that their loyalty missions are actually open from the beginning. However, I will not be doing them for a decent while. I will be still picking up the characters, but still. Lost contact with survey ship from Project Fireworker. Commander, the MSV Rosalie, a survey ship with the Cerberus connections, has gone missing. The survey team was field testing a new prototype, the Hammerhead Planetside Exploration Rover. In addition, scientist Dr. Manuel Case and Dr. Robert O'Loy are aboard the MSV Rosalie and conducting research for us. We need to find the ship, the survey team, and the doctors. MSV Rosalie was last seen near planet Ziona, Elista Ismar Frontier. This is from the Project Firewalker DLC, which in my opinion is one of the worst DLC in the trilogy. Firewalker sucks, but I'm still going to be doing it. It's just really boring. I'll get into it more when we actually do Firewalker in a decent while of time. Normandy crash site located from Admiral Hack and Commander Shepard. Our scans in the Amada system have turned up something we thought you should see. The final location of the wreckage, the SSV Normandy. We thought this news might be important to you, but also have an ulterior motive. The Alliance would like to honor the Normandy with a monument to be built on the site of the ship's final resting place. We'd like to invite you to the place to place the monument and be the first to walk the site. There's still 20 crew members unaccounted for from the attack on the Normandy. If you find any signs of these lost crewmen, we ask that you report to the Alliance so that those heroes' families might find some closure Godspeed to you, Commander. The Normandy crash site, another free LC item. This one we will be tackling fairly early on. I don't know exactly what order I'm going to do things, but the Normandy crash site is something we can take care of pretty quickly. And I am logged out of there. The recon hood from the elusive man Shepard occurred to me that our armor technicians, you may not want to show your face everywhere you go. They sent by a hood that Cerberus issues to its corporate operatives. It has additional microframe functions you may like. Hood is in your quarters. We saw this earlier. The recon hood, I believe, is also free LC. So, yeah. Overlord from the elusive man Shepard. One of our cells just went off the grid without explanation. Project Overlord has been experimenting with highly volatile technology, and I need you to investigate. Their work is extremely compartmentalized, enough that I can't divulge additional details over this channel. You'll find them on the planet Ite Typhon system in the Phoenix Massing Cluster. Please use care in this matter. Unlike Firewalker, this, the Overlord DLC is tremendous. I am very much looking forward to when I do this. The arc projector from the elusive man Shepard. We recently had an incident involving the Geth at one of our outposts in the Skillian Verge. Don't worry, I'm not sending you off to chase anything down. Our outposts waged a highly successful battle against the Geth scouting party, because their success to a newly advanced electrical attack device. We finally let them take out of the lab. Since their unit is being reassigned for some rest and relaxation, I thought you should take custody of the weapon in the meantime. The weapon is called an arc projector. I sent it to the Normandy's armor so you can examine it for yourself and use it if you deem worthy. It's gone through plenty of tests that indicate it overloads kinetic barriers, synthetic enemies particularly well, but it demonstrates are a poor substitute for actual field reports. We know it works. Now we want to see what it can do in the right hands. If it all goes well, we'll use your tactics to train other operatives. I believe the arc projector is also a free LC item. It is a free new heavy weapon. From the elusive man Shepard, at great cost and effort, we have tracked down the master thief Kasumi Goto and convinced her to work with you. Very few people have ever heard of her, and fewer can claim to have seen her in person. She's unequaled at stealth and infiltration, and her skills will prove invaluable in your mission. Jump to the Zakara ward on the Citadel. There you'll find a special ad terminal that differs from the usual. Input the password "silence is golden" to begin the rendezvous. Kasumi Goto, the other party member DLC. This one is a paid DLC in the original trilogy and is much better than the Zaid DLC. And finally, one that is not DLC, from Stan McDubb, banking agent with Ascension Financial Services on Earth. Hello, Commander Shepard. Thank you for submitting your updated medical documentation. Your status has been changed from deceased to alive. After deducting modest administration fees for closing the file, the subsequent change in status and the reactivation of your account, you have a remaining balance of 100,000 credits. Thank you for banking with Ascension Financial Services. We look forward to working with you. Are you protecting your greatest assets? We will find the best life insurance rates and coverage to fit your needs. Apply for a free quote today. So with all of that DLC stuff picked up, I think that's a good start to the captain's cabin. Another thing, I'll go back and check this out. When you go to the elevator, you can see the general things of what there is. The captain's cabin just has Shepard's personal cabin, while the Combat Information Center has the CIC, Armory Tech Labs, the briefing room, and the cockpit, as well as our team member in Jacob Taylor.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the Combat Information Center. Here, the crew receives sensor data and coordinates gunnery and damage control efforts. While Normandy is flown from the bridge, during combat, the commanding officer issues orders from the CIC.
The CIC is where you'll be spending most of your time. Thank you, Yeoman Chambers. We'll go and meet you in just a second, actually. CIC is where you'll be spending most of your time. When you come back from mission, you will automatically spawn. I believe you are right up on the galaxy map, similar to this, not exact position. You have your private terminal over here. This is the main way you'll be viewing the private terminal. Same one as in the captain's lab, but yeah. You'll mainly be popping in from here and here, as well as once we get the scientist, we'll be heading into the tech labs pretty often.
I'm Yeoman Kelly Chambers. I've been assigned as your administrative assistant. I'll manage your messages and help you monitor the crew. And I must say, it's such an honor to work under you, Commander Shepard.
I'm glad to have you on the team, Miss Chambers.
Please, call me Kelly.
Okay, Kelly.
Anything else?
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
What are your responsibilities?
I'll keep you notified of any messages or appointments you might have. If any of the crew has important business to discuss, I'll make sure you know.
Isn't that the type of task better suited for a VI?
Yes, but being your yeoman is just my official role. Unofficially, I observe the crew. Everyone knows how risky our mission is. Many of us may not be coming back. That's a lot of pressure. I have a degree in psychology. I'm good at sensing when people are overly taxed.
You make sure the crew's mental health is sound?
Yes, I look for warning signs. I listen. It's not a full-time job, and it's most effective when done informally.
We're lucky to have someone with your skills, Kelly.
Thank you, Shepard. What else would you like to know?
This organization has a dark reputation. Do you have any concerns working for them?
Not at all. Our methods can be harsh, but Cerberus has noble objectives. We look out for human interests. Advance human technology, save human lives. They're good goals.
It sounds like Cerberus wants to dominate all aliens and put humankind on top.
Cerberus looks out for humanity, but that doesn't mean we hate aliens. My sister started a dog shelter, but she loved cats too. I love humanity. I also love Asari, Quarian, Turian, Salarian, Hanar. That isn't in conflict with Cerberus ideals.
That's a very positive attitude.
What can I say? I'm a people person. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
How do you feel about being assigned to the Normandy?
I was handpicked by the Elusive Man to help fight the greatest threat known to humanity. How do I feel? Honored, exhilarated, terrified. But mostly I feel encouraged. Under your leadership, we can't fail.
Don't worry. We'll defeat the Collectors.
I trust you implicitly. The moment I met you, I knew I could close my eyes, fall back, and you'd be there.
Your trust is well placed, Kelly.
I knew it would be. Thank you, Shepard. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
I better go.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk later.
Yeoman Chambers will be fairly useful for us. She will mainly be pointing out when we do have messages on the private terminal and when loyalty missions are available. Again, that won't be for a little while, but is still useful to know. Her being right next to the galaxy map is also very nice for that as well. We can pick up a nice little codex feature by checking out the computers there. And we can keep going along.
Yes, Shepard.
I want to know more about you.
Do you have a specific inquiry?
What do you do aboard the ship?
I operate the ship's electronic and cyber warfare suites in combat. My reaction time is much faster than any organic. I collate the records of shipboard monitoring devices for the Elusive Man. I serve additional functions which are restricted at this time.
Restricted functions? Like what?
I do not know. Some of my databases are sealed, some of my hardware is kept offline. I assume that when certain unknown conditions are met, those functions will be released to me.
Cyber warfare means things like viruses, right?
In close-range ship-to-ship combat, I can sometimes break through the firewalls of an enemy's internal wireless network. Once I seize control of their systems, I can turn off gravity or air. I can disable weapons guidance or shields, or I can put their fusion plant in meltdown. On the defense, I manage Normandy's own suite of jammers, decoys, and internal firewalls.
Sounds incredibly useful. Why isn't there someone like that on every warship?
An organic operator cannot react quickly enough to changing circumstances, or perform the necessary multitasking. This is a role that can only be filled by an artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, we are suspect.
Well, it might have something to do with how an AI almost destroyed galactic civilization, just putting it out there.
The Elusive Man has monitoring devices on board?
He has invested most of Cerberus's resources into the design and construction of this ship. He has an interest in monitoring our progress.
Let's discuss something else.
Ready.
I want to know more
Do you have
about
a
you.
specific inquiry?
How are you getting along with Joker?
Mr. Moreau does not trust me. It offends him that I am installed aboard his ship's computers.
Yeah, the last Normandy did just fine without an AI reminding me the airlock is ajar.
Why are you named Edie?
EDI is the phonetic pronunciation of EDI. That is an acronym for Enhanced Defense Intelligence.
Where are you?
My core intelligence is housed in a quantum blue box located behind the medical bay.
Let's discuss something else.
Ready.
I want to know more about the people I'm working with.
Much of that data is classified. Do you have a specific inquiry?
How did Cerberus replicate the most advanced warship in the Alliance Navy without anyone knowing?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question.
What do you mean?
Although I am less controlled than other AI, I am still subject to behavioral blocks and the physical isolation of my hardware. In this case, I am prevented from truthfully answering your question by Cerberus's levels of secret classification.
What sort of resources does Cerberus have? Money, personnel, facilities?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question.
How is Cerberus organized? Aside from the elusive man, I don't see much chain of command.
Cerberus is organized into task-oriented cells. Each operates in isolation. Members from one cell cannot recognize the members of another. Each cell's agents are led by a single operator. We are called the Lazarus Cell, which is directed by Operator Lawson.
So how many operations is Cerberus running right now?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question.
Let's discuss something else.
Ready.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the bridge, where the navigator plots our FTL vectors, and the helmsman maneuvers the ship.
Yeah, sitting right here, thanks.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Edie is interesting to note. Of course, with those many blocks, we'll have to check in at later points to see if that changes. That's also one thing that's just in general, checking in with people at later points will get us more dialogue.
Can you believe this, Commander? It's my baby. Better than new. It fits me like a glove. And leather seats. Military may set the hardware standard, but on a first-gen frigate, they could care less if the seats breathe. Civilian sector comfort by design.
The reproduction is not intended to be perfect, Mr. Moreau. Seamless improvements were made.
And there's the downside. I liked the Normandy when she was beautiful and quiet. Now she's got this thing I don't want to talk about. It's like ship cancer.
I don't trust them. We still need to move ahead, but it's all too convenient.
Maybe you're right. I guess it's hard to argue when they install an AI to spy on us. We're staying though, right? I mean, the seat is real leather.
Good to see you're keeping it all in perspective, Joker.
Leather? Commander,
I assume everything is going well up here?
I really want a chance to put the Normandy through her paces. I just have to trim up the drive output and it'll be like we never lost her.
Safety standards advise against manipulating drive settings while engines are powered and in use, Mr. Moreau.
Commander, can we shut this thing off? I don't need it in my day-to-day.
If you don't want to hear it, turn the damn sound off.
Well, it doesn't change anything. It's still watching. Like some creepy kid staring at the back of your head in comp side. You just want to punch him, but he's special and he sets fires or something. Okay, a little too far there, but you know what I mean.
Your problem, not mine.
Thanks, I'll remember this.
So, how do you think we're doing?
Well, the Normandy's not as ready as she could be. There's always more we could upgrade. And as for the crew, you'd have to ask a people person.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last, I would never say anything against Miranda and expect to survive the reprisal. Jacob is way too nice a guy for the number of ways he knows how to kill people. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
Ever think about the old Normandy and the trouble we got up to?
Yeah, those seem like the good old days now, but come on, it was hell at the time. Geth, Saren, Sovereign, and then we got dumped. We're stuck in a weird place, sure, but back then it wasn't all sunshine and bunnies.
What happened to the rest of the old crew? I heard most survived.
Almost did. Presley didn't. The rest of us just sort of drifted apart. The Alliance didn't care. I don't think they liked all the non-humans in your crew. We were your team, Commander. With the Normandy destroyed and you gone, there wasn't much keeping us together.
That's it for now.
See ya, Commander.
Joker is one of the best characters in the series. I love Joker so much. He's just a snarky asshole all the time, and it's fantastic. We're gonna finish off this deck, and then next time we'll explore more stuff.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the armory, where small arms are maintained and upgraded. Using Omni-Tool, computer-aided design, and manufacturing, we have the capability to manufacture several new models.
Quick overview of the armory. We can also go through our different equipment. We don't really have any equipment to change out aside from our heavy weapons because of the arc projector. I'll do my best to show off every heavy weapon at least. So we'll equip the arc projector for now. You can also see some of the weapons that we've unlocked just by going here. We can look through all this stuff. It's nice little details. And we'll go and talk to Jacob.
Commander, there hasn't been time to really settle in and take stock. I want to say that working with you is a great opportunity to do something that matters. It's a privilege to serve on the Normandy, Commander.
You may change your tune if we end up like the original Normandy.
Maybe. As long as the elusive man walks his talk, and you do the same, I'll do my best to make sure we succeed. That's been the condition for my service so far. I have issues with certain actions Cerberus has taken in the past.
What has Cerberus done to make you nervous?
A lot. They've been called terrorists, and with good reason. Doubt you can find a more checkered past. But if the Collector threat is real, and we do something about it, Cerberus will be remembered differently. Or we'll all be tried and executed. Can't count on people thinking about it as hard as I have.
It's good to hear a clear opinion. Sounds like we're two of a kind.
That honors me more than you, Commander. Let me know if you need anything.
Jacob's a pretty boring character. He's very much just a straight man character, very generic. He's, by the numbers. A realistic character, sure, but it's also boring.
Commander, can I help you with something?
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this later.
How are we doing, Jacob? What's your sense of the mission?
Probably the same as everyone else. I just want to figure out what the real threat actually is. Got no problem with risk. I just need a clear goal. Anything else, Commander?
What do you think of the state of the crew?
We don't have a full complement. We don't stand a chance without the right specialists on side. Anything else, Commander?
I understand you made quite an impact after you left the Alliance.
Miranda and I stopped the Batarian plan to release a biological agent on the Citadel. That's when I first met her. It took us out to the Nemean Abyss and back. Saved the Citadel like you, but what's the saying? Good deeds like pissing yourself in dark pants? Warm feeling, but no one notices. The whole thing was hushed like they're good at doing. But I know what I did, and I'm proud of it.
We'll talk later.
Commander.
Probably of the characters that exist in this game, Jacob's one that I would IRL like to know, but just as a character, he's pretty bland.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the FTL communications room. In addition to interfacing with the FTL comm network, Normandy is fitted with a quantum entanglement communicator linked to the elusive man's office. This allows lag-free communication even when you operate off the comm grid.
Why aren't these used everywhere?
Each quantum pair costs nearly as much as a comm relay, and can pass only one quantum bit of data at a time. In addition to the cost and bandwidth issues, the system is strictly point-to-point. To contact 100 different worlds, we would need to manufacture and install 100 entangled pairs, one linked to each world.
I've never heard of a quantum entanglement communicator. How does it work?
Essentially, two subatomic particles are created in an entangled state. One is installed here, and the other in the elusive man's office. When one particle occupies a given quantum state, its entangled partner will always enter the opposite state, no matter the distance between them. If we alter the state of our particle, that alters the state of the elusive man's. This allows us to send data in the form of quantum bits.
Why aren't these used
Each
everywhere?
quantum pair...
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was...
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Wasn't sure if that was a comment on, the usefulness of that. No, that's just the same thing we heard before. But with us being over 20 minutes, next time I think we'll explore decks 3 and 4. But until then, see you guys later.